Alright, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to yet another TapDaddyBeats stream, and I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. Of course, as we do on Thursdays, we're going to be mixing down some beats. I got 3 beats picked out, and I think these are going to be some really sick ones. Like, these are some ones that I've been excited to get to, so should be a good stream. Real quick, this is my newest single. It's called 922 Kelvin, and it's off of my upcoming album, Return to Earth. So yeah, if you want to go hear more like this, go drop this a pre-save. It comes out in 28 days. Yes, March 20th. So anyways, let's just dive into it, though. Let's dive into it. I'm not going to spend too much time on the promo. Yes, this one, you guys might remember I made this one last Saturday. If I recall, it came out really good in the production phase, which might mean that we don't have to do a ton in the mixing. We'll see. Or it might mean that, no, I'm going to be fiddling with this till it's perfect, right? But we'll find out. I really haven't listened to this today, so we're going to give ourselves our first listen through. And then we'll probably give ourselves some headroom. So let's check it out. God, this one's sick. I like this. But yeah, let's see what the loudness is at. 1.42, okay. It's a little bit over, but we can fix that. Easy. Dude, this is gonna be such a golden beat. I really want to hear bars on this. And it looks like I'm going to go ahead and delete these tracks at the bottom that were unused. Dude, this is going to be awesome. All right. So, let's give ourselves some headroom, first of all. It's pretty loud right now. Just giving ourselves room to turn things up and turn things down. So let's see, 1, 2, and now we're below 0. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish, 5.5 decibels of headroom. That should be plenty. If we need more, we can always give ourselves more. So, but yeah, let's start at the beginning here and just kind of work our way into the track. So yeah, let's check it out. So yeah, and it's definitely a bit quieter, so if you need to turn your headphones up, definitely do. Okay, so one thing I noticed, first of all, is this piano is like so swayed to the left. I'm kind of surprised I produced this whole thing with that piano in our left ear. That's not such a terrible thing. It's just like, it's very foundational to our track. I might just kind of try to scoot it over to the right a little bit. So let's go ahead and do this. Keep it a little bit center. This is good. kind of okay though if it leans a little bit left. That might be kind of advantageous. Because this guy that's going through like the whole track, we could lean him just slightly to the right. And I think that would work out pretty nicely. I want to just take a look at the width of this piano. See what kind of width we're working with. It might be kind of nice to spread it like a smidge. I don't want to introduce too much like stereo widening because sometimes that gives us some weird phasing, right? But a little bit is like not a bad thing. It's not completely forbidden, right? Let's see. So we're going to pull out an imager just to get a look at the stereo field here. All right. And I like to use Ozone Imager too. This is free, by the way. Any of you guys can get this. Yeah, not bad. So there is some nice width to it. So that, yeah, I think that'll be okay. Take a look at these drums. Okay, so yeah, we've just got a little bit of compression. These are such golden drums. I don't think we're gonna need much more than this. This track is so badass. All right. And I always like to kind of like work our way from the beginning of the track inwards. So far we've got our piano, this little melody here, and our drums sounding pretty good. Let's pay attention to the placement of this guy. I don't know why I'm kind of feeling like maybe this guy can like come on the outside right. Like it could be just somewhere on the outside. We could shift it over to the left, you know. Oh, that might be the perfect spot. Now that it's like so far out there though, let's turn it down. I feel like, you know, just interesting phenomenon. Basically, anytime that you start shifting something further to the left, it's going to sound louder in your left ear. And I think because of that, you know, the more I put stuff to the sides, the more I kind of like turn them down in volume. Just kind of normalize it a little bit. Oh, dude, this is so golden. Yeah, this isn't gonna need much, you know? This isn't gonna need like a ton of super in-depth stuff. I feel like, okay, I really love the dynamics we're getting on these. They might be a bit much. I think it might be this layer that's kind of jutting out. Let's kind of like bring this guy down a little bit. Woo. Oh yeah, and we got this bass here. This is pretty cool, and I think I've already kind of done some work on this when I was in the production. So just to take a peek under the hood of what we got here, we got a little bit of this tape processing. I really like this tape feel on this key bass. It's such a deep, subby bass to begin with. Something that's kind of cool about this tape processor is it kind of does this interesting type of compression and a little bit of saturation that kind of gives this interesting like flutter on the low end. Like let's give a listen to that. yeah, you can kind of feel this like kind of buzz to it on the low end. Without that, it's decent, but you can tell this has more compression to it and a little bit more low end definition. And this kind of like interesting sort of like slight flutter feel on the bottom. I don't know, that works pretty nicely. Aside from that, we got an LA 2A, just kind of normalizing, literally using this for compression, of course, but like in how you normally would, which is just to normalize the volume of these notes a little bit. You know, sometimes, especially in your bass, it might kind of hit a little bit differently at different ranges, and a little bit of compression can kind of help normalize that volume a little bit. Now, we do have, thinking about the placement of this guy, this little lo-fi vibraphone. We kind of have this off in the right ear. We also have this guy, this main guy, kind of going hard in the left ear. You know, nah, because our piano is leaned left a little bit. Okay, sorry, I'm thinking out loud. I am kind of thinking we might swap. Let's swap the left and the right audio for this so that it naturally sits in the left ear. And that might, you know, fix the placement of this. Oops. What do we do there? Here we go. I'm not sure I'm vibing with it so far off in the left. Let's swap it back. Stereo. You know, I think it's kind of fine that these are consuming relatively same space. I feel like they're a little bit separated in the EQ spectrum, right? But also something big that you'll notice here is just look at the placement of these notes. You know, we got these guys here. Like, these kind of happen in different instances, right? It's not that, you know, we kind of got a little bit of separation. You can kind of see here. Like, so we hit this note, and then we have bum, bum, bum. Sick. Okay. So actually, that's not too much of an issue. So badass. Let's take a look at this brass. Yeah, I got this sounding exactly how I wanted it to when I was producing this. I've been in this kind of nasty habit of like doing a little bit of mixing while I'm producing, which is not such a nasty habit. Sometimes it kind of like, I don't know. Like, if you know that you're trying to establish what kind of reverb you're having on your brass, trying to establish that live sound, it can kind of help guide you in your sound selection as you produce and kind of keep you on track. I feel like, yeah, honestly, what really helps you get some of the best mixes is just by, like, getting it right to begin with, you know? Because I think, you know, so often it's like you're trying to get sounds that are going to sound cohesive, especially when it comes time to really like brushing up the mix. And so much of that is sometimes decisions that you're making when it comes to the production and the sound selection, right? Just how things kind of fit together. So I did do a little bit of trickery here. I got this lively resonant. This is like a room verb. There is a little bit of reverb on the sample itself. So that's the whole thing though, is like you're hearing that big and this kind of sucks, right? It's kind of cut off. We don't hear it too much with everything going on. And I specifically chopped this a little bit differently to give us more of that tail, right? I actually chopped this note because it was this guy, right? And I chopped it to become this guy just because I wanted that tail. That's actually not too bad, though, because you'll notice it's like by the point where it dies, we would kind of want that to be faded anyways. This does feel a little bit unnatural when it's soloed, but it sounds totally fine in the track. Do we have any more? It's these 4 bars. Yeah, these 4 beats of reverb. I'm curious if maybe I'm going to try a slight thing that might help mitigate this a little bit. We're going to, just so it's not like such a hard cut, I'm going to just pull that back a little bit. I don't know if that's going to really be helping us, though. What we could do is we could add a tiny splash of our own, like hall reverb, right? In hopes that it'll sort of carry over, but I'm not expecting too much. And here's the thing is, like, this is where it comes down to compromises, right? We're sampling. The sample has some reverb on it. That's kind of a issue, right? And we're trying to get creative in a way that we can mask it, but also if this little workaround where we're trying to mask this is not going to sound as good as the original, then we got to just compromise, go for the original. Who cares if there's like, if somebody is looking very tiny, you know, with under a microscope and going, oh, I hear those reverb tails cut off. You know, it's like, compromises. Okay, so we're going to use just like a tiny amount. Let's just say like 10%. Now we're kind of contributing a lot more to the room noise. See, I like the original better. I just like the original better. I don't think, you see, this is where I'm like, I'm overthinking a non-issue. I mean, it's kind of an issue, but like, we're making compromises here and we're deciding to just like not fuck with that. Now, I am curious if I took off this compression, that might help that reverb die off a little bit better. Sounds more full, better under the compression though. Because I do like that reverb that's included in the sample. It's just, you know, the issue is that it kind of cuts off. I think we're going to be okay with that. I think we're going to say we're okay with that because, yeah. Any workaround that I'm going to do here is going to be just lesser than what we have right now. So, like I said, so often is it just about the compromises and knowing when to not shoot yourself in the foot, right? We're not fucking with things to just like try to be fucking with things, right? All right, what else we got here? What else we got? I mean, shit, that's kind of all of the instruments in here aside from these strings. Let's bring this back. Let's bring us through here, and then we're going to listen through this section, and then we're going to probably get into a little bit of EQing, just to see if there's anything that we can kind of carve out to make some of these elements a little bit more prominent, a little bit more heard, give everything its space. Oh, one thing I did want to try, just to kind of like, here's a little trick. Sometimes when you have a little bit of a reverb attached to something, you want it to feel a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more in your face. A little bit of compression. Yeah, we squeeze on what is the loudest thing and what is the quietest thing in this sound, the loudest thing being the actual plucks themselves, and we make that closer to the reverb that's sitting on the bottom. Sometimes that can help just kind of bring out some of the like lively feel of this, because we're kind of bringing the room noise of it a little bit more forward, which is kind of cool, man. I like it. We're going to use an LA2A. This is kind of a slow compressor, simple compressor. I really like it. I like it for this kind of work where I'm like, I want it to just be a little bit more vibrant, right? Okay, now let's try to bring this down. Might go less compression. Let's try to kind of like match this. It's subtle. It's very subtle. It's slight, but it's like this just feels a little bit more full and lively. Man, you know, speaking of liveliness, and this is where it's like we're at a pretty good mix here, right? Like this sounds pretty fucking cool. And this is where I'm like, well, I've kind of gotten the job done of like balancing things, right? And now I'm kind of like, ooh, but what about flavor? What if we can introduce a little bit of flavor? Also, again, you know, be careful not to shoot yourself in the foot. But I kind of wanted to hear if we introduced a little bit of room verb to this, these drums. Let's just see if we can give just like a little bit of this room verb to it. See what it sounds like. Yeah. It just kind of contextualizes the drums. Without the verb, it feels right up in your face, like super dry. This feels like it's more like sitting in the ensemble. Like it's in a room. It's in a physical space now. Fuck yeah. Dude, I'm really vibing with this track. We might need to like focus on our gain staging a little bit. I'm kind of feeling like these drums are a little bit forward. I could also try a little smidge of compression on this piano. Yeah, that's like really up there. turn the piano up a smidge. Okay. Now, I want to like take a look under the hood. Let's pull it up an EQ on this guy. Very nicely focused in this mid-range. I might just chop out these kind of sub-frequencies on this piano. Now, let's see. This guy's running alongside this piano throughout almost the whole track. I just want to see where this is hitting. It's like right here around 1,000. So I'm kind of curious, what if, like right here at about 1,000, we kind of like gave it this small pocket. That would kind of help. Now I want to really take a look at this brass. And yeah, so this seems to be coming in like where's the element of this that I really want to bring forth? So it feels really good up here. That's a nice spot that we want that to really be coming through. And yeah, there's really nothing up here. You know what we might do is we might kind of carve away some of this mid-range. Kind of giving ourselves a little bit more room for that piano that's a little bit below 1,000 hertz. Although, I don't know, it kind of takes away some of the power of this trumpet. It's more like, I might want to do a little additive boost down here for a little bit of flavor. Now, I am kind of weary of the fact that there's probably going to be a vocal in here when I get this off to an artist. I'm not sure how much I want this to really consume that space. I might aim a little bit higher, like a little flavor boost up here. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And I do see there's like random sub stuff going on down here. Let's just get rid of that. Thinking we can afford to boost up this piano. We kind of carved away a little bit from this, and there's a lot that kind of enters at 1,000. Like there's a lot of this brass that sounds good at around 1,000, but we carved out about 2.5 decibels around there. So I think that we can afford to bring this forward a little bit more and get more out of it, right? So let's see. kind of bothering me. Okay. Sludge that drum like up one. This is sounding tight. This is sounding really tight. If we've done our homework right, we can squeeze with a compressor on the master and it should really lock in and sound golden. Let's take a look at this. I've kind of been neglecting this string. It sounds so good though. So you guys will see I did this thing when I was producing this where I gave it this big hall verb and then I compressed it afterwards, which I kind of like this. It kind of like glues the melody into the reverb a little bit. Oh, this sounds so clean. And I've really got this heavily compressed. Beautiful, yeah. Do we like the spacing of it though? Yeah, it's pretty wide element, so I don't think it's gonna be an issue. Contact lens is like giving me hell today. Okay. All right, and then one of the last things we're gonna want to do is give this a nice curvy fade out. So let's try that. All right, so we're going to start with -1 decibel, -3, -6. Boom, we got a nice curvy fade out. Hell yeah. All right. Man, okay, I'm ready to start squeezing on the master a little bit with a compressor. That should be sick. So we're going to pull out the Shadow Hills master compressor. And let's start messing around with this. We're going to enable sidechain and we're going to start squeezing on the compressor a bit. So I want to really come in at these big sections. God damn, nice. Oh, now watch this. I'm gonna pull out that tape processor that we have on the bass, and we're gonna actually throw that on the master. What? This might almost be too much. We might have to back off. Let's change the EQ. That opens up a lot more of the highs. I don't know. This sounds so snappy on these drums. And that bass is crazy. Dude. We're gonna maybe need to bring down this bass a little bit. Let's do this. That's crazy. Okay, so what do we want to do from here? This is usually where I start to introduce a little bit of saturation. I want to be very careful with it. Like, the idea of the saturator is that it's gonna bring a little bit more of this like lively, bright sheen to it. Kind of this brightness. If we go too overboard, though, it starts to make things sound muddy. But a little dash of like Little Radiator. I like this plugin for saturation on the master. It's pretty simple, as you can see. Let's turn this all the way to dry and start kind of incrementally stepping our way in. We're actually getting away with a lot more saturation than I thought we would. The sound's pretty clean. See how it sounds in the other parts. Oh, wait, I'm like, what am I? Okay, I was like, this is not affecting this nearly as much. I didn't have this on my master chain. I had them on my bass. All right, let's bring this over. Oh, man. I didn't add anything crazy to that. Yeah, no, it was just that. Okay. Pay attention, man. You gotta make some silly mistakes. All right, let's do this for realsies this time. All right. So let's bring this all the way down. There we go. What's up, Tim Williams? How you doing, man? He was like, I was like, Radiator is sounding clean today. I know, right? I was like, this makes no sense. That's funny. I think this is about the amount we're going to get away with. Definitely not as much as I was able to get away with on the bass. Good God. Let's hear this back out over here. That sounds good. I want to inch it up. Ooh, back it off a bit. God damn, I like this track, man. Alright, let's bring it to the beginning. Let's get our max peak value. I know we're gonna be able to hit it. It's probably minus 4.52. I just want to make sure. Alright, starting from the beginning. Ready for J. Cole. Hey, yo, for real. You think this sounds like a J. Cole type beat? I'm always curious on your guys' input because quite honestly, I'm just making beats and putting it out, but I have to slap type beat in the title if I want it to get in front of rappers, basically. Or Logic. Okay, I got you. See, I was thinking like maybe like Tribe Called Quest, it kind of sounds like, what's that track, Past the Bone, you know? Fuck, I'm thinking way back 90s stuff, though. And, you know, I know J. Cole and Logic do a lot of stuff that's very much throwback to, like, classic hip-hop that is, like, I don't know, the kind of stuff I was raised on, man. But, yeah, what's that album I'm thinking of? Is it Cuban Links? I don't know. It's been so long, man. Whew, man. So mine is 4.62. Seems like our max peak value. Fuck yeah. Alright. Yeah, I'm thinking of an album that was like from the Wu-Tang Clan. It didn't have like the full Wu-Tang Clan on there. It was like two of their members, and I'm trying to think who. They did that one song, Past the Bone. And that's what this reminds me of, is Past the Bone. Man, okay. Let's see. Now we just need to like raise up our we're just going to raise the decibels up to get it close to 0. And we're going to start feeding it into a limiter. But yeah, Radiator did wonders for the low end of this track. I know it is kind of like, so like this tape processor gives us a little bit of ripple to it on that low end. And then this, we're talking about, yeah, because we have that on the bass. So that already gives us one layer of like ripple, right? Then we added on the master, which kind of glues everything together and gives that low end even more like definition, right? And then this Radiator just kind of saturates it in such a way that it's sort of like, it's a little bit rumbly. And I kind of like it. You know, too much of that and it gets way out of hand. But if you can be really sparing about it, it like, oh, it feels good, man. It feels awesome. Let's see. We're going to grab our utility. We're going to like do, let's see. So we'll just call it, yeah, we're going to bring it up as close to 0 as we can. We'll just say 4.6. I'm going to slap a limiter on the other side just in case if anything tries to jump up and clip. Just to be super safe. And then we're going to end up running Ozone on this, mostly to use its maximizer, but it's also a good opportunity to go do a little bit of EQing before we start passing it off to our limiters, right? But first, before we even do that, I want to like get a sense of the lufts that we're at right now. And just see how far we need to go. I think for this track, I'm kind of aiming for like minus 10.5 lufts-ish. So let's bring it back to the beginning. This is going to be a little bit louder. I just turned it up by 4 decibels, just letting you guys know. All right, let's hear it. Whew! That's feisty, man. That snare is so vicious. I love it. Woo. I might even have to nudge that snare down a little bit. We're going to try taking this down by 1 decibel. Maybe 2. That's a little bit better on the ears, right? Jesus fucking dude, nice. Let's see what the lufts was. Minus 16. Okay, so we got quite a ways to go here. We're gonna really lift this, just a warning. All right, so in fact, now that we're getting the loudness up, I'm gonna turn up my microphone a little bit. Sorry, I'm always changing the volume on you guys. This is just how it is in a mix session. We start quiet and we start to incrementally build ourselves louder. So here we are, you know. So let's pull out Ozone. I'm gonna let this run. We might change things. We probably will. At least the whatchamacallit, the maximizer, the threshold. We'll see what it does with the equalizer. I kind of want to clamp down on some of that low end a little bit. I think that's going to give us more room to push it heavier into this maximizer. So I'm kind of already expecting it's going to do that. We'll see what else it tries to do, but I hope this is somewhat balanced. But, you know, we can always A/B test our way to victory is my philosophy. If we don't like it, we don't got to use it. So let's bring it back. Let's start it from like over here. All right, and let's run this. So, little loudness warning, this might get kind of loud. Just, it might jump up in volume and come back down. So, letting you guys know. All right, let's run it. feels good. What are we at? We're gonna turn on true peak, increase the ceiling. Hey, that's perfect. That's actually pretty much what I was trying to do here, was like I wanted to kind of, we might even bring this a little bit lower. I see it gave us more mid-range. I certainly don't disagree with that. This up here, though, I kind of might want to open up the end of that. Let's even like kind of bring this back, lift some of these highs. That feels good. I'm going to clamp down a little bit more on this guy. See how much of that we can get away with. Alright, let's bring this back and see kind of like what our lufs is at. Probably gonna have to go a little bit further on this. It's in these verse sections that we're gonna be losing some of our lufs. That's okay, but I am gonna try to aim for like minus 10.5 lufs, so we might have to push it a little harder. We'll see. Almost there. Dude, so sick. That's minus 10.3 lufs. That's perfect. Oh, man, we stuck the landing. Oh, God, we got to do a little save as. I flew through that one. I wasn't even thinking. Let's see. Mix V1. Boop. Perfect. And, man, we got two more that we're trying to do today. So let's jump right to it. I'm going to go grab a little bit of coffee, and we're just diving into it, man. We're diving into it. This next one's a little bit of an older track, if I remember right. Can't remember what it was. The last one that we're going to do is kind of in the vein of this track that we just did. It's going to be pretty sick. Anyways, while I am off grabbing a little bit of coffee, I want to play the title track to my newest EP. It's called Night Owl. It came out recently. I hope you guys enjoy it. Of course, I am TapDaddy on all platforms if you guys want to go listen to the music. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy Night Owl. I'll be like 2 seconds. All right, I am back. Here, I'll pause this for you guys. And let's dive into our next mix. All right, this next one, song 1078. Yes. Let's get that one pulled up. I can't even remember which one this was. I picked it out earlier this week, so it must be good if I had picked it out. We'll see. All right. Let's see. Come on, load, buddy. Got some hot coffee. Very hot. All right, 1078. Man, we mixed that last one in like 1 hour on the dot. Pretty good, you know? These beats don't take like a whole lot, right? Especially if I did a good job in the production. Sometimes I don't. We'll see how this next one is. Okay, 1078. Save for sure, even though I just saved it. But all right. Let's see how long it takes to load this guy. Shouldn't be too long. All right. And so I've been playing through some GameCube games recently. I just started Chibi Robo. I don't know if you guys remember that game. That game is weird as hell, man. Super weird. All right, hell yeah. Just gotta recover some of these missing media files. Let's hopefully it works. I've been kind of going a different approach in terms of how I'm like storing my samples and separating them. I had one issue when I was recovering my samples after sorting them this morning. Kind of gave me a little panic attack when it couldn't find the right sample. Okay. One new candidate was found. Good. Very good. All right, let's full screen this. Let's get rid of that and just make sure everything got replaced. Yep, looks like it. All right, let's bring this back and let's hear what we're working with today. Oh yeah, I remember this track. This is a good one. So beautiful. This is gonna be a fun one to mix down. See what our max peak is? Holy shit, 8.3. That's crazy. Oh, we're gonna have to really turn this guy down. So yeah, it is very loud right now. We're gonna turn this way down and begin work on it. Let's not get too used to this volume. All right, I'm going to take everything. Man, what is so loud in this track? All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're below 0. And now let's go a little bit further to give ourselves some headroom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, much quieter. I'm going to turn down my microphone. All right, turn my mic down here. Okay, now I can turn up my volume. I encourage you guys to do the same. All right. I think it's these drums that are so loud. All right. Let's just start one thing at a time here. These are nice. Kind of getting a feel for like where everything's gonna end up being. This guy's probably gonna lean left. Countering this guy, which means this guy is gonna be left, so this guy's gonna be right. This guy's gonna lean left. This feels a little bit heavier in the right ear. I mean, it looks pretty centered. For some reason, I'm just hearing it a little bit more heavier in the right ear. I think some of the lower range is like shifted right. I'm gonna use a utility to swap. Yeah, now this feels a little bit more left. And now we can just shift this more left. I don't know if we'll go that far left. Let's turn it down as well. I'm actually going to put the reverb before this this compression. Yeah, we're going to compress this a lot harder. These guys are going to just come up in volume a little bit. We're going to say to like -4. Okay. tape on here. We might even do a little bit of extra compression on that bass to kind of help just normalize some of the notes. We can turn that down a bit. Okay. Boy, this track has a lot of parts to it. This is kind of a, you know, difficult mix. It sounds pretty good though. I don't think we're going to have to do too much like major surgery on anything in particular. But it's more about like kind of keeping track of all of these individual elements and where they come in, how they're going to interact each other, where they're going to be spatially. We should probably start looking at the drums. What is this guy? Okay, that's... Alright, let's look at these drums. What do we got going on here? So, these we have... Ooh, interesting. An 1176 compressor, and we've cut the highs here. I want to do one thing. Nothing too crazy, but I feel like the hi-hat on the kick is a little bit loud. Just a little bit. So we're not going to completely cut out that hi-hat, but we are going to kind of reduce it. I also want to make sure that our hi-hat one shot and our kick one shot are not overlapping. Yeah, so what if I got rid of this guy? That's going to solve a lot more. Every time that this kick hits... Wait a minute. That's one where they hit together. Okay. I'm starting to see some mistakes in my drum pattern here. Okay. Yeah, let's fix this. Also, we got... that also has a hi-hat on it. I'm curious if we got rid of the hi-hat that overlaps with the rim clicks, is that going to sound more natural? Yeah. Okay, so here's the tedious task. We're going to remove all of the hi-hats that overlap with a kick or a snare because, and I'll show you guys, because all of these one-shots are chopped from one drum break. You see that? So, because there's so much going on where there's a kick that has a hi-hat on top of it in the one shot, and there's a rim click that has a hi-hat on the top of it in its one shot, we're going to remove any additional hi-hats that we laid over the top of those. So let's just get busy with that. So like there. You can kind of see the logic here. Yeah, you see, that feels a lot better. Oh my God. Let's keep going. Sometimes, you know, it's like not so much about like, you know, all of the EQing and compression and all that. It's just like straightening out your work in the production so that it sounds better before you're even trying to mix it, right? Ooh, but that made me realize we have, oh, this might get tricky here. So let's take a look at our choke groups. And I see we have all of these in the same choke group. But what we need to choke in this instance, because we removed our hi-hat, which was stopping that choke in our choke group, I have to add our kick. This guy, I think. Yeah. So let's add this guy into our choke group. And I think that should solve that. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. So because I added that into the same choke group. I think this will be fine, though, because what's causing us issue here is this overlapping hi-hat and kick. So we'll just be weary of that, right? Yeah, you see, definitely causes some issues, but it won't if we remove this in the right order. So okay. All right, I think we did it. Let's make sure that this sounds good. Let's also just fix this little pickup over here. Okay. Perfect. All right. Now, what's good, though, is we only have to do that much. We can replace this guy, because it's the same loop, with that. This guy, we got to kind of mark down where are we coming in at. Okay. It's like coming in at this... this guy over here. Okay. Nice. Okay, now we can move on with the mix. Damn. start backing it out a little bit, figuring out exactly how we need to move forward. We got this beginning part pretty well. I wanted to check back in with this guy. This guy's coming up. I'm like really locked in on this mix. I don't think we're gonna touch this. We got beautiful reverb on this guy. I love how this just like swells out of nowhere. This guy, we're gonna kind of like do a little bit of compression on this piano here. Maybe not a ton, but I do think we're gonna get a lot of vibrance and kind of body out of compressing this slightly. I think these guys, we're going to kind of move a little bit left, and that should be advantageous to the artist that's going to be on here. I feel like these trumpets typically land in a similar range to vocals, and it's kind of, I don't know, sometimes I find it really advantageous if we kind of treat trumpets like vocals. Same with saxophones. Like, of course, there can be more than one vocal in a track. It's just you got to be kind of strategic about how you fit them all together. For this, I think we're going to slide this guy off to the left a little bit. How does this go with this guy, though? Yeah, that sounds fine. And this guy's like off in the right. Compress this guy a little bit because there's like this heavy like piano note underneath that high guy, and I kind of want to bring these two closer together. There we go. Kind of turn down the reverb on that guitar. And we're trying to set this further back in the track than we would for an instrumental song. Trying to make it so that there's still a lot of room for the rapper. Maybe we'll slide this off to the side a bit. Maybe we'll go more left. Kind of in a similar space to where we have this trumpet. I want the introduction of this guitar to feel a little bit differently. Right now it feels a little bit hard and forced, and I'm just thinking maybe if this first note was a little bit softer. That feels a little bit better. And I turned the drums down by like 1 decibel. I just don't want these drums to poke out when we start to compress. Like, I don't want them to be way too in your face. They should be kind of chill, you know? Yeah, we've got quite a bit of compression on these. That first resonant. I kind of want to do like something a little bit tricky. Get rid of that guy for now. Actually, no, we're gonna need that. I just need to take a peek here, see exactly. Yeah, that first resonant is at like 200. What if we had an EQ that just like kind of clamped down at around 200 just when that guy comes in? So like we would automate this. And I might even automate this so that it goes like no, we're gonna go gain, and right now it's at 2.11. Where does this come in? Yeah, so we'll say in this space over here, gonna bring that guy back up to 0, and it's just gonna kind of like dip a little bit, this unnoticeable little guy. Okay. Yeah, you can see that that moves down. And then we'll kind of like have this come back up subtly out of here. We'll bring that back up to 0. And we'll do that basically anytime that flugel comes in. There we go. Let's see if that is the case over here. Yeah, that first resonant is really like down around there. We'll probably also make sure that like it's got a decent Q range. Might even go a little bit lower on this guy. Just a little bit. Yeah, we'll say like -3. Okay, let's do that over here and over here. So we're going to take this automation, boop, and we're going to say, all right, right over here. Yeah, let's bring this in right here. That should be a perfect spot for that. Nice. See, I like these automations, man. You know, ghetto dynamic EQ. You're right, Tim Williams. I need a dynamic EQ. That's kind of what's missing from my collection. I only really do this when I'm like, I want to maintain how full something is, and I don't want to like make that dip through the whole thing, you know, when it's like tiny little details like this. I feel like there are pros and cons to doing this though, where it's like obviously I'm like spending a lot of time doing silly ass, you know, ghetto dynamic EQs like this. The other thing though is that I feel like sometimes dynamic EQs are like too perfect, and they can make your mix sound weird if you're like overly reliant on them. And I think that this is kind of a way where I'm less reliant on it, you know? So, Aiden, what's up, dude? How you doing? Welcome on in, man. But yeah, Tim's saying TDR Nova is a really good one and it's free. I need to look that up. Thank you for letting me know. I'll have to check that out later, because there are instances where it's like I need a dynamic EQ and I just don't have a good one. So like, you know, so I find myself doing shit like this, right? Which is really not bad though. I kind of like this process, but we're going to do that again over here. Simple. And we might do that for these guys as well. All right, so let's take a look at this guy. This, I think, is happening a little bit of a higher range. Yeah, where are we getting the most body out of this guy? But more importantly, where does it fit in the mix? It's like right up here in the 300 to 400 range. So here's what we're going to do in that case is we are going to, and this one will be a little bit of a wider one, I think. But let's use this guy now, our third one. This guy's going to be set at 0 for the most part. We're going to just say 0. Boom. And this guy's going to be a little bit higher and a little bit of a wider Q value. And he's set a little bit higher, but, you know, we're going to kind of carve it out for this guy and this guy over here, you know. So here's what we're going to do. We'll say, and this guy's got a little bit of reverb, so we're going to go a little bit more after. But essentially, let's automate the gain on this guy. And we'll say, okay, from here to here, start ducking down. We'll do another like 3-ish, maybe 2.5. We don't want to go too crazy. And then we're going to start letting off like maybe like up here, and it's going to kind of take a little bit of time to come up. Yeah, we're really doing this by hand, right? But it's so effective. It totally works. Let's tighten this EQ, this Q knob a little bit, but it's going to be something like this. And we'll do it again over here. This guy I might do a little bit faster. Yeah, we might bring the other guy in a little bit. 2.5-ish. And we'll say, because it's kind of fading here, we'll say like kind of towards the end of this tail, we'll just start to kind of bring this up. so as to not draw attention to this change in EQ. Very good. I like that. Dude, it's clever. It's very clever. All right, let's take all of these guys. And we will put them down over here. And we've got a couple other spots over here where we do this. Boom. And boom. Perfect. Perfect. And you see, these are really the only like mid-range instruments that I'm concerned about. We got that flugel and this guy. We're just kind of making sure that they play well with this piano. Oh, this is so clean. What's up, Mars? How's it going, dude? We got the homies here. Hell yeah. You missed my ghetto-ass dynamic EQ. I'm automating these to kind of duck where I need them to. Now, let's take a look at this guy. See where this guy's coming in. I think this guy should be good. He's a little bit higher. Yeah, he's like really... See, and it's mostly this guy that's the important range, and there's nothing really competing with him, so we're going to leave this guy alone, basically. But yeah, Fab Filter Pro Q4 and the Waves F6 EQ are great for that. There you go. Yeah, and I was just explaining to Tim, I kind of, like, first of all, I haven't really gotten my hands on a good dynamic EQ that, you know, I probably would get a lot of use out of in instances like this. But I also kind of find advantages in sometimes doing this by hand, because I think what I've seen and heard from hearing so many people's mixes is that sometimes when you overdo it with a dynamic EQ, it kind of like makes your music like too perfect to a point where it feels not natural. It feels kind of weird, right? And so the limitation of like doing this by hand kind of eliminates some of that unnaturalness. I'm being very specific and mindful with every kind of instance that I'm like bringing this down at, right? It doesn't feel like this overly manipulated EQ. But yeah, he says they're perfect for ducking the bass with the kick frequency. Ah, interesting. Yeah, and you know, I used to do a lot more like sidechain between the bass and the kick. I've since kind of moved away from that, and instead I like to really just be very, very mindful of like where I have them balanced at. So I, you know, basically I have that kick jutting out above that bass ever so slightly. And then sometimes I'll do a little bit of EQ if I've got a kick that's more mid-range and a bass that's more sub, you know, just to kind of get them to gel together. But I don't know. I've really been trying to get more like in this mindset of fixing things in the most basic way possible, because I feel like that preserves a lot of the track while still fixing these problems. I think in the past I've like overdone it with like way too much getting in the weeds with 1,000 plugins, and I'm kind of trying to get away from that, trying to like get more simplistic with my approach. But I don't know. That's just what's been going on in my mind. He's like, depends. That is true sometimes. Yeah. But no, really, I do just need to get my hands on a dynamic EQ. Yeah, Tim recommended a free one, TDR Nova. I'm going to have to check that out. Yeah, Pro Q allows you to adjust the exact frequency for the kick key. That's nice. Hell yeah. I think we're pretty good on this track. We might be ready to start compressing on the master. This introduction of this guy felt a little bit awkward. No, it wasn't this guy. Where's that string at? That's this guy. No, that felt good. I don't know what I was thinking. There we go. But yeah, Pro C3 does it now too. God damn. Nice. Yeah, Tim says, I just use FL Studio's multi-band sidechain patch. There you go. It removes only the frequencies of the kick from the bass. Nice. Yeah, I used to just go in with, Ableton's EQ8 and just kind of try to separate out when I had like a kick that's more mid-range and a bass that's more sub. Kind of carving out a little bit of like, I would kind of dampen the kick below where it really needs to hit, trying to make room for that sub bass. And I would like go over to my sub bass and kind of like carve out a little notch where that kick goes. But I don't know, I kind of overdid it, I think, on a couple mixes where I kind of ruined a really rich sounding sub bass. And so then I kind of went the other route where I was like, well, let me just level these in such a way that that kick is sticking out above that sub bass, right? So that my kick is like, maybe like 3 decibels louder than that sub bass. And I don't know. You see, that's where I felt like I was getting like much better results, where it's just like, oh, really simple approach. Let's just level it differently. And it's like, oof, I don't know. Maybe I don't need to go around with, these EQ cuts, these ducks, it's just like, oh, we'll just level it. And sometimes that's the answer. Sometimes that really like preserves the richness of the track. But different strokes for different folks. I feel like I am constantly in this like state of analyzing my past mixes and trying to like learn from mistakes that I've made in past mixes, right? So yeah, he says leveling is the best option, but like you said before, sometimes the bass hits in places that blocks the kick. Absolutely, man, absolutely. Honestly, there's no two mixes are the same. Yeah, what works in one mix is not going to work across the board, right? All right, let's hear this through. I'm going to try to not like focus too much on any particular thing. Just if there's issues, just let it come to us. Oh, wait. Well, yeah. This guy needs a little bit of that. Wait, did we? Yeah, I think we did automate this for the other guy. Let's go back over to this. Yeah, we did. Cool. Just wanted to make sure I remembered to do all that. Anyways, let's hear it. This guy needs to come up a bit. God damn, I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. All right, let's give this a nice curvy fade out. And we're going to start to, go over to our master and start to compress it. And I feel like this is always where I learn a little bit more about the balance of the track. So we might be coming back into the mix to fix a few things, but I'm feeling pretty satisfied with this. It's a very moody track. I like it. Very, very relaxed, too. Okay, so let's see. And also, max peak of minus 6.43. That's great. Let's pull out our Shadow Hills master compressor. You guys know how we do. And, so first of all, we're going to enable sidechain. Let's kind of bring it into the track a bit. Ooh, that discrete gain is really like... Let's not get too much of it, though, because that might take away some of our open-ended, like, highs. Kind of overwhelm it with some of that mid... All right, there's one more layer, though, that I want to bring in terms of compression. We're going to do this oxide. We might have to turn our bass down after this, though. It might make the bass a little bit too extreme. But let's try it. Ooh, this is very satisfying. I think really we're going to turn down some of this ambience a little bit. Woo. Don't mind me, I'm driving. Hey, drive safe, man. Let's bring this back. Sounds great. raining like crazy today, is it? It's certainly raining in this track. This is sounding good. Let's go ahead and apply a little bit of saturation. This is another one where it's gonna just need a little bit, not much. Like, that's way too much. Should add some rain sounds. Dude, there are rain sounds throughout the entire track here. That's the rain sounds. I'm keeping it subtle though. I don't want it to be too noticeable. It's kind of more like white noise in the background. Beautiful track. Oh my god, I'm really vibing with this. All right, we're gonna start bringing this up to full volume. So I'm gonna start by increasing this by 4.7 decibels. So just a little warning, this is gonna get louder by 4.7 decibels. And we are going to slap a limiter down just to catch anything that might be going beyond that. There we go. And I want to get a sense of where we're at with the LUFS to see how far we're going to need to put it. Let's see. Bringing this down. And then let's run it from the beginning again. Let's check out just kind of where we're at. All right, so this will be louder. Let's check it out now. Looks like we're gonna have quite a ways to go. Kind of aiming for, you know, it's kind of a quieter track. It needs to be at least minus 11.5 LUFS, but man, it's looking like it's gonna need to go quite a ways to hit that. kind of nervous seeing how far we have to push this up to get it to a decent level. You know, like I know we're gonna be in for a tough one here. Sometimes it's these more delicate tracks that are a little bit harder to master. I was kind of hoping we'd get away with a little bit of an easier job because it's such a full sounding track, very full arrangement. Let's pull out Ozone. And like I was saying last time, this is good because, first of all, we're going to be relying on the maximizer to help us really, bring this up to the ceiling. And it also kind of gives us an opportunity to EQ it a little bit before we start limiting so much. EQ, I'm not quite sure how much, what to expect here. I do think we're probably going to clamp down a little bit on the mid-range. It feels very mid-range heavy right now. But we're going to just see what Ozone does and probably change everything. But let's run it and find out what Ozone thinks of this, and then we'll change it all. So, little loudness warning. This is probably going to jump up in volume. It might jump up and then come down. So just wanted to warn you guys. But yeah, let's hear this. All right, here we go. That's insane. It really, that threshold is minus 11.8 dB. That's crazy, but that is doing a lot more work than I anticipated, and it's sounding pretty clean. I see that it kind of clamped down on our bass. I kind of think, that's fair enough. It is sounding pretty heavy down here. I also saw it kind of raised it a little bit above 1. I think that's pretty good. I don't think we want it to raise so much in these highs. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. I'm also going to kind of clamp down a little bit in this area. Give us a little bit of a, yeah. Sounds great. Thank you, man. I know, I'm kind of surprised at how well this is turning out. I thought we were going to have to really wrestle with it at this point. Let's see where our LUFS is at, and then we'll probably be messing around with this maximizer if we need to go any farther, or we can always throw a limiter on the other side of this and push it a little bit higher into the ceiling, but I'm hoping we might be on target here. The target is it needs to be at least minus 11.5 LUFS. So let's check it out. Holy shit. That might be perfectly on target. Minus 11.4. Dude. I will take that. Dude, that is golden. Holy crap. Save Life said as. Good, good, good. Oh my gosh. Mix V1. Perfect. That is amazing. Guys, that worked out so well. That worked out way better than I was expecting. Oh man, I thought we were going to have to really wrestle with it. But no, it just came together so nicely. And I feel like, quite honestly, I'm really happy with the mix. And any time that I think I, really stick the landing on the mix, it should be kind of a walk in the park when it comes to the master. And, well, that's what happened today. I was a little nervous when I saw that we had about 10 lufs to gain when it came to the master, but it slid into place really nicely as we pushed it up into that maximizer. That is good. All right, guys, we got one more that we're trying to hit today. One more mix that we're trying to do. I'm going to go grab a little bit more coffee. While I do that, I wanted to remind you guys, I have an album coming out March 20th. It's called Return to Earth. I'm going to play you guys a track from it. It's called Lunacy. If you like this track, I think you're going to enjoy this album. So definitely consider dropping it a pre-save. But yeah, I'll be right back. Just going to get a little bit of coffee. We're going to dive into that next mix. So holy shit, I'm amped, dude. That was a good one. All right, I'll be 2 seconds. Back with hot coffee. Yeah, coffee sounds like a good idea. Great minds think alike, man. All right, so let's get into this last track. Let's get into it. This last one was a really good one. This was one that I was like thinking I was gonna save for discography, and then I was like, nah, because I've got way too much stuff in store for discography. I decided I want to drop it on BeatStars first, and if I want to use it in discography later, then I will. But I want to get this out. I want to hear rappers on this. So let's open it up. This is song 1097. Let's go check it out. Where is it? It is down here. There we go. Yes, save, of course. Even though we just saved. Let's do it. All right. Oh, man. We've hit some really good mixes today. I'm like, wow. I feel like I've been on a roll lately. Oh, hot coffee. Very nice. All right. And nicotine. Yes. Because I'm a bastard. All right. Let's replace these media files. Holy shit, there's a lot here. There is a lot. Let's hope it can replace all of these. Let's see. Okay. It is searching. It is finding these. Seven missing files were replaced automatically. What is missing here? All right, we got to go track down some files here. This guy has 2 candidates and needs to be replaced. And that can work. Sure. Okay, 1. What about the other one? There was another one, I believe. Or let's run through this. I think we got all of them. If we come across one, but no, I don't see any missing files, so I think we're good. What was that? Oh, that was my preview. There we go. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Mars is back. Let's go. God, I fucking love this track, dude. We gotta really do this thing justice. Whoo, man. What a fucking track. I love this track. Okay. Sorry. We're going to dive into this now. Coffee. All right. Let's see what our max peak value is. 0.46. That is not bad at all. First of all, I want to get rid of some of these tracks that we're not using. So like I saw this guy Yeah, so we didn't end up using this guy. We can get rid of him. What about some of these other guys? Like, yeah, up here, we don't need these guys anymore. Okay, so now we've just got the tracks that we're working with, all 18 of them. And we're going to take everything and we're going to turn it down by, first of all, 1. Now we're below 0. Now let's take it down even further so that we have headroom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's say. Okay, now we got plenty of headroom. Woo, the horns on this track are dope. Thank you, man. I agree. Okay, so now, let's start from the beginning here. So we've got this kind of like vinyled out track. That sounds good to me. This sounds good. That whole sequence feels fine to me. See, this was a track that I did while I was like, I don't know, I do these studio sessions every Sunday night where I'll start at like 7 o'clock at night and I'll go until like midnight or 1 a.m. and really, really polish something. So this is actually, I think I did a decent amount of mix work on this. I can't remember. But it's sounding really good right now. We don't want to like completely screw things up too much. This is kind of one of these tracks where like, okay, these drums sounding kind of dry. Let's start with these drums. I'm kind of thinking we're going to bring in a little bit of room verb and maybe a smidge of compression. Okay, so let's do a little bit of compression before that. We're going to turn this snare down a little bit. I like the placement of these high keys. That's pretty good. See, a lot of this is just like, it's produced so nicely. I don't want to touch a bunch of stuff. This is something that I've been talking about a lot. It's just like, don't be fucking with stuff just to fuck with everything, just to feel like you're mixing, right? Just, if you hear a problem, fix it. And that, it's really as simple as that. I want something a little bit more rich in this sub bass. We're gonna do that tape processing to give it a slight bit of flutter underneath. You've got your coffee now? Hell yeah! Cheers, man. Coffee club, let's go. Man, I've been pounding coffee today. It's been great. I love it. So we're gonna pull out the oxide. I'll render it, listen through my headphones to hear what I need to change. I gotcha. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I feel like I can never really mix on monitors, and part of that's just my room is not set up for it, so I know that that's the problem. But it just feels like I can never really hear things, like, I feel like I need my headphones to really hear things up close, you know? But I know I'm going to probably feel very differently the day that I have nice monitors in a treated room. That's the goal here. I'm working towards that goal, man. I can get it close, but no dice. I gotcha. I also really like what LA2A does to sub bass. We're gonna kind of bring these notes together. Yeah, monitors are great for arrangement, though. I feel the same way. I mean, I like to produce on the monitors when I can, but my room is just not set up for it, so it's like, I know that about my space. Let's take a look at these horns. Man, I really like the verb on these horns. I don't think I'm going to really touch these too much. We might try that little trick where we do a little bit of compression after the verb to kind of like help glue it. Ooh. Oh! Yeah, the car is the best listening environment. I love hearing shit in the car. I will say, I feel like cars, though, have such a low-end bias. Everything in every car is, like, so bass boosted that, I don't know. I feel like it's not quite objective, but it's something that I want my music to sound good in because I know everybody's listening to music in their car, right? It's a very important, like, audio source. Probably have to turn these down now. A little bit. Yeah, you want to hear what your fans will hear. Absolutely. That's why I mix on AirPods. No, I'm kidding. But it's not a bad idea. Honestly. I want that vocal to come through nicely. We might do kind of like we did on the last one. So it's really important in this like 200 to 500 range. Okay, that's where I'm gonna be really trying to bring it in. Come on, get on 0. Just 0. There we go. Let's try to bring over here. We're gonna go like right about where we want it to be. I'm gonna place that at 0, and we're gonna say, yeah, right in this space is where we're gonna want to automate. So let's say like right here to right here. We're gonna want to like bring these guys down by like maybe like 2.5 decibels, 2 decibels. Let's try that first. Okay. Oh yeah, we can really hear that much better. There's another one over here. Move that over a little bit. There we go. Okay. Nice. But yeah, Mars says, yeah, on my DJ rig, I use a post DBX compressor, a digital 2-stage EQ / spreader and master unit, and an exciter. So I know what my listeners are hearing post mixer. Fair enough. But yeah, he says the audio never gets crazy. I've recorded some great CDs. Hell yeah, man. For me, I'm mostly just like, I don't know. I listen to music in a lot of different places. So I think when it regards like live audio, you know, you're DJing live sets, that's a whole other realm. But I'm mostly concerned because a lot of the music that I make is really listened to a lot on streaming platforms and, you know, playlists and whatnot. So I'm like mostly concerned with day-to-day use. And, you know, I listen to music on a lot of different devices. I listen on these MDRs. I listen through my monitors. I have a separate set of headphones that's just for, you know, Bluetooth headset that I use when I'm just like watching videos and shit in bed. And also my car, you know, I listen to a lot of music in my car. So these are like kind of all the things that I'm paying attention to when I'm mixing. Or at least when I'm listening back to demos, when I'm trying to get an impression on how much I like a mix, I'll be listening on a lot of different devices like that. But again, you know, my music is mostly streamed on platforms and listened to in playlists. So I think that when you're going for a live recorded mix, like for live music, it's a totally different ballpark. All right, let's see where else we have some pretty big elements coming in. I want to pay attention to this brass. Let's see what's going on in this brass. Ooh, yeah. I see that there's a couple sub frequencies on this. We don't need those sub frequencies, and that's kind of muddying up where our sub bass is coming in. So let's remove those entirely. Yeah, that should be good. See, we got this guy. And this isn't like in every bit either. This is another thing where it's like we're going to want to EQ against, you know, our main body, which is these chords up here. This. So where is this coming in at? Ooh, and you can see there's a lot of sub stuff down here. All of this fuzz down there. I'm not sure if I would want to remove all of it. But I definitely want to remove this stuff that's like in our sub range. And then we got like this really important stuff. Yeah, basically right around 1,000 hertz. You know what I think I'm going to do is just for this section right up here, I'm just going to carve out a little pocket around 1,000 hertz. So that those can kind of fit in a little bit more nicely. And I think that this will help our brass, actually. This one might be hitting a little bit higher though, so we'll kind of treat these differently. Let's do this. Let's say. So let's add in another node here. We're gonna bring this up to the 1,000 hertz range, and we're gonna like duck this down. Not a super tight EQ or a Q knob, but we're gonna like. Keep that there. So let's see. Put this as 0. And we're going to say like. And where are these guys all coming in? Yeah, between here and here. So. Yeah, that should be good. Now, let's say this through. Where's this other guy? This guy. We're gonna bring these guys down like 2.5 decibels, something like that. Maybe a little bit more aggressive. Something like 3 decibels. There we go. I'm not sure if we need to go as strong as like 3 actually. Here, I'm gonna bring this out so I can select this like this. We'll say these guys. Maybe we're only going like 2. There we go. But yeah, you'll be right back, Mars. No worries. Now let's do the same for like these trumpets. And I want to get a real sense of like where's the energy coming from. I imagine, you know, you see this as a pretty like spread range here. I think it's actually going to be around these 2K hertz. Like, let's just test. See, like, kind of thinking of like what you want to be brought forward. It's more this range up here. Yeah, that shit's golden. We're going to like basically anywhere. Because I like to think of it as like these chords are like the water that we're filling into a glass. And all of these instruments are ice cubes. The water is going to form its way around these ice cubes, right? So, basically, and this is where it gets kind of weird. We've got this guy. Let's actually go do this somewhere else where we don't have these little bell things. Let's come in like right also want to kind of see, where's this guy coming in? Oh, that's perfect. That's going to be around 1,000 hertz. We're going to go ahead and kind of remove some of this low end stuff. Nice. Like the Titanic? What do you mean by that? Oh, ice cubes in water and shit. Yeah, except our boat's gonna float, man. Let's see. Let's bring it over. Let's do over here. Yeah, so over here, we're going to actually, I don't think we're going to need to carve out any room. You can see that this is pretty relegated. So yeah, those horns are quite fine. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to just mostly for flavor, mostly for just like, ooh, the appeal, the flavor. We're gonna boost a little bit right up here. Woo! Nice. Now in this section, this is another one where we're going to want to maybe carve out a little bit of space. Now let's make sure that we understand where the power of this trumpet comes from. I think it's going to be one of these first resonants though. Maybe it's more like the second resonance. I think it's like the second resonance. And you can see it kind of floats around a range. So we're going to give it kind of like a broader kind of range here. But let's see. Set that to 0 dB. Let's go up here. And we're going to say, yeah, this guy we haven't automated yet. This guy, this is going to be kind of a more broad range. We're going to set him kind of like that. First of all, we're going to say 0. And you'll notice we're doing a lot of automation around 1,000 hertz. That's okay. It's kind of coming down, coming up where it needs to, and it's being filled in where it doesn't need to be. That's totally okay. So, let's see. We're going to say show automation. It's going to kind of slide down. What's great about doing this individually per instrument is that we hit specifically the range for the instrument. So we're not like making this big dent in our, in our chords and being like, wow, why does our chords sound so muffled? I wonder. Okay, and like over here, somewhere like that. So let's say these guys are going to come down. Like 2.5-ish. We're trying to not make any big drastic moves here. This is an instance where a dynamic EQ would be really helpful. I gotta get a new one. But sounds great. Thank you, man. Oh, man, I'm loving this track so much. All right. Yeah, let's lock in on this guy. This guy gets a little muddy in those lows, right? Okay, so we have this resonant down here. That is pretty important. And it's like, we need that to be heard. So I've kind of got an idea. As we get closer to like this, basically as it goes down to here. Yeah, right around here. This is the range that we're going to protect. Okay. So basically between here and here. What's going on up here? Let's see. So up here, we're going to add in another one of these guys. And we're going to kind of like do one of these. We're going to kind of like make it so that it kind of comes down as we get into there and then it comes back up. All right. So let's do this. Let's say that as we get into here, automation. Okay. And we're going to kind of give us a little bit of space. We're going to say like between here and here, we're ducking down and then and we can kind of come up like here and here. Okay. So over here, we're just going to like start to kind of bend downwards on these. Give it a little bit of this guy. Really carving out some space. Yeah. We might even like kind of bring it like that. Okay, and I think that we can even move this in a little bit. Like these guys can come over to like even in a little bit farther. Might even like scoot this down slightly. Oops, we want to set this at 0. Yeah, good enough. There we go. Cool. See, all of this careful EQing at the end of the day is going to allow us to have this piano up a little bit louder, right? It's not getting so in the way of all these instruments. Keeps our mid-range a lot cleaner so we can push a lot harder in that mid-range. gonna do a little bit of compression on this guy. Let's set him back into the mix. Woo, yeah. There we go. Oh man, yeah, Mars. I'm just like locked in on this mix, but I just love how this is coming out, man. Oh. And then let's make sure that we get a nice curvy fade out here. So we'll set that at 1, 3, 6, and then fades. Cool. God damn. All right, now I kind of want to go back and just give an overall, like, just, you know, adjust the leveling as we need to. We just did a lot of work here. And we should decide, do we want, like, these guys in this beginning section? We might group these, automate them, because I did kind of like how simple it was before it really hit. So where does this guy cut off? Yeah, right at the drop. Okay, so then this guy can be off for this. Yeah, we'll keep this very low key at the beginning. This can come up now. But now that that comes up, we gotta adjust our intro. This guy can come forward a bit. This will come down one. Whew. That was a great coffee. Hell yeah, man. Cheers. I concur. Okay, this guy. This guy, I think, needs to get compressed. We should really squish this guy a little bit. And I'm almost thinking maybe rather than going LA2A, let's pull out the FET. See what this sounds like if we really squish him. Ooh. Nice. We'll do this before the automation here. Yeah, really squished. I like that on the... God damn. This flute sounds amazing, by the way. I like this guy. Bring this piano up a little bit. Dude, this is fucking amazing. I like this. Oh, man, let's bring it back to the beginning. Yeah, I think I'm going to be ready to start really squeezing on it on the master. I want to start compressing, and that's where I feel like I just learned so much about how the balance is turning out. Because if you got your the levels wrong, it's going to be amplified when you start to compress on the master. Can we go even bigger on this swell? Let's push the riser up by 1 decibel, and let's push this crash cymbal up by 2. Whew. Yeah, I want to bring that crash cymbal up. All right, let's dive in. Let's dive in. I want to hear this with the Shadow Hills Master Compressor. Oh, this should be glorious. This should be awesome. We're going to enable sidechain. Let's bring it to this big shout section. And, yeah, just start to compress on the optical and the discrete compressor. Dude, that discrete gain sounds amazing here. Don't want to do too much though. Okay, one more layer of compression. I want to run it through some tape. Oh my god, that bass. We're going to make one adjustment. You see, this is what I was saying about when you run it through all of the compressors that you want to, you start to learn a little bit more about the balance. What I'm hearing is the drums could come forward a little bit, that bass can come back a little bit. And that's kind of predictable because this oxide, like this makes your low end kind of go fucking crazy. But I really love the kind of nuance that it gives us in the low end. It kind of gives us this intensity, this kind of fluttery feel on that low end. And we want to lean into that. We're going to pull back on this bass a little bit. And we're going to bring that, the drums up so we can really feel that kick and that snare like bumping, right? So let's do this. Of course, now we got to kind of go back and check our mix. Is this still okay? So what we can't always do is if this is a little bit too much in the intro, and I think it kind of is, we can throw in our intro group minus 2 dB on these drums. I think that'll be the ticket. I think we could go even harder on these drums. Ooh, I love how these are slapping in these compressors, man. But that means we're going to want to go minus 2 again on the intro. Alright, it's tedious, guys, but this is how we get some sick results. Oh man, I was supposed to end stream at 4, but we gotta finish this master. I think we'll go a little bit over. don't know why it wasn't in full screen there. And I feel like just hearing the loudness of this against the drums, I think that these guys could come up a little bit. In fact, we might kind of bring these drums down for this bridge section. Let's do this. We're going to do an automation here of just outside of our groups. We're going to say like -2 just to start with. And we'll kind of bury the difference in volume with those risers, basically. Oh, shit. Wait, no, we don't have those risers here. In fact, oh, I see. I see. I think we're going to want to do this through this section. And if so, maybe these guys don't need to come up so much. Okay. And then we'll kind of like bring this up a smidge. Up to like, yeah, about 1 decibel. Maybe we'll just do this. Because, yeah, I tried to bump it up a decibel and it was just like too much. Okay. Woo! Fuck yeah. All right. Oh my gosh. I think we hit that nail on the head. Let me just make sure I got this automation right. Yep. Okay, cool. Back to the master. Now we're going to introduce a little bit of saturation to this. And this should really kind of make this a little bit more colorful and vibrant sounding. Added bonus of it's going to make it sound louder without making it louder, which I think is brilliant. So we're going to use a little bit of Little Radiator. Very simple saturator plugin that I think does wonders for just like if you put a dash of it on the master. It sounds awesome. So let's go to the loud part of this track and let's just start inching our way up to see what's going to be too much, because little goes a long way. So I think that's about all I want to get away with. Yeah. Thank you, Mars. Oh, man, this is sounding so good. God damn, I'm so glad that we decided to mix this track today. I've been waiting to mix this one, and it's just like, I don't know, I cannot wait to put this out. I need to get this to the rappers, but I might be using this in discography later. We'll see. Alright, our max peak is minus 1.57. Let's boost it up. I'm going to get it snug into the ceiling. We'll just put a limiter after that. Let's pull out our utility. Let's say go up 1.6. Slap a limiter on the other side of that to catch any clipping. And then we are going to run this into Ozone to try to use the maximizer. First of all, we really want to get, that's why we're mostly pulling out Ozone. But we'll also use the EQ in there to, try to get our last chance to do a little bit of EQing on this. And I'm thinking we're probably going to be pushing down on that low end a little bit. But aside from that, I think everything sounds pretty balanced. So I don't know. I think if we push down on the low end a bit, we'll probably get away with, really smushing it in that maximizer even more. We'll see what Ozone thinks to do, but we'll probably change it. So, as we always do. All right. Ozone. All right, now a little loudness warning. This might jump up in volume and then come back down just while it's analyzing it. So just wanted to warn you guys, but let's run this and let's see what this is going to sound like. All right. This is amazing. Oh, and that's dude, that's fucking perfect. That's actually, I wanted to do this. This is doing some wonders for this kick, I think. No, I actually agree with what this sort of EQ. Let's pull out our loudness meter. And let's see where our LUFs are. All right. We're aiming for, look, I don't want this louder than minus 9. I'm kind of ideally aiming for minus 10-ish. Okay, I'll take somewhere between minus 10.5 and minus 9.5 is kind of what I'm thinking. All right, let's run it. we're so close. I think we can get away with a little more. I think we can do it. Let's try to push this. It's minus 10.5, right at the bottom of what I was aiming for. I said I want this between minus 10.5 and minus 9.5. This we got away with really cleanly. I'm thinking we're going to pull back on this threshold and see if we can let a little bit more sound through. And hopefully that's going to go fucking nuts. Let's see, though. Let's see if we can do that cleanly. Oh, I'm getting away with so much here. That's a little bit too much. Let's take this all the way back to the beginning. Let's run it one more time. Let's get our final LUFS value. Holy crap, I am going overtime today. That's okay. This one needed it, man. This one really needed it. Let's hear it. All right, we're hoping for like minus 10, but we'll accept anything over minus 10.5, basically. We're gonna really blow past this goal, I think. Holy crap, minus 9.9. Guys, that is like spot on. Dude. Oh, yes. Dude, I feel invincible after a mix like that. Holy crap, man. We got to save this. Oh, man, we got to do our save as. That's right. Let's do mix V1. Boop. Awesome. Damn. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Guys, we're going to be making beats on Saturday. Come through for the Saturday morning cook-up. I'm live every Saturday morning just like cooking up beats. I hope to see you guys on Saturday. We're going to be making some bangers like this. So yeah, and real quick, if you guys are trying to find my music, I am TapDaddy on all platforms. You can find me here, okay? TapDaddy everywhere. And I have an upcoming album. It's coming out on March 20th. It is called Return to Earth, and I've got the pre-save right here. So if you're looking forward to a project made by moi, here's the link to it. Feel free to check it out. No worries if not. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'll be live again on Saturday, so I hope to see you guys all there. If you haven't yet dropped a like on the stream, go drop a sub if you want to catch more streams like this. But damn, thank you guys so much for hanging out. This was a good session, man. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.